Emilien, many congratulations to France. 2 wins from 2. How pleased with that performance?
Very pleased actually. We had obviously the win at the first and then the bonus point, so that's what we wanted to have. And we had lots of balls to carry, so we're happy to attack. So very pleased with that performance. But now it's still 3 games to go, so job's not finished.
Give us a little word on Matthieu Jalibert here to your left, because he was the player of the match among some extraordinary performances today.
Oh yeah, like he did all this year long. We saw him in top 14. He does the same with the blue jersey. It's outstanding performance with lots of offensive stuff. His special kick and yeah, so amazing player. Really happy to play with him.
You can just translate for me if you will. Matthieu, just give me a sense of what it's like to play in this team with so many extraordinary players. You know, Louis Bielle-Biarrey, Theo Atisogbe, what's it like?
Ouais, c'est un plaisir de jouer pour cette équipe. Il y a énormément de talent offensif et voilà, on a la chance aussi d'avoir des avants qui dominent. Donc pour nous, après, on essaye juste de bien jouer, mettre les mecs dans les espaces pour trouver des solutions, et c'est vrai que dans ce système, on se régale vraiment à jouer.
Merci. Yeah, so really pleased to play with all talented player. He also wants to congratulate all the forwards that make big efforts, who gives us the opportunity to have some space, and yeah, also happy to play with all the team. Yeah.
Many congratulations to you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commiserations to you and to Wales, but did that feel today like a step forward despite the scoreline, would you say?
Yeah, I guess so. I think we were a lot better than last week. I think there's obviously massive work in our game. They scored a lot of points off kick chase. When we did create, we were largely inaccurate in that final third. But I do think we were more positive than last week, but still the scoreline is what it is.
Give us a sense, if you would, what is the morale like among the players? Because it must be difficult in that red jersey right now.
No, look, it's always a privilege to put this jersey on. That will never change. I think the morale probably comes from the scoreboard, is obviously the disappointing thing. We were largely disappointed with our performance last week and what we showed on the pitch. I think we'd probably be a bit happier with what we put out on the field this weekend, but again, there's still a lot to work on. We got broken on kick chase a lot of times, and we didn't perform accurately when we had opportunities. Look, I completely understand they're a world-class team, one of the best in the world at what they do, but we've got to be better than that as well.
This was the lowest crowd in Cardiff for a Six Nations match. What would you say to those Wales fans if you had the opportunity?
Look, I think ultimately it's our job to make people want to come and watch games. You know, we're a side that at the minute are not getting results, but look, all we can ask is that people stick with us, come on the journey with us, because we are growing as a team and we will continue to grow. But we understand it's our job to excite people and make them want to come and watch us and support us.
Commiserations, but I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well, commiserations, Steve, but did that feel actually like a step forward, despite what the scoreline might suggest?
Yeah, look, I definitely feel like that. I didn't think we threw many punches last week. I thought we had moments in the game. Discipline was much better. I thought the set piece, the scrum, I thought was excellent. We won a lot of line-up ball. I thought we probably could have scored a few more tries, and ultimately probably really disappointed with the last couple of minutes of the half, whereas we felt 19-7, like France had some great tries and like they're outstanding team, but I thought at 19-7 the boys' effort, the way they worked, and I think coming in at 19-7 would have been a good moment and probably a transitional moment for us where we got a good turnover at the breakdown where it might be a chance to change that field position. So look, it's probably it's part of the journey where we're on, and again we've got to see where we can be, and I think there was more to see from where we can go as a team in that performance today.
How much with this Wales team right now are we seeing just that transition from regional rugby to test rugby, and the sheer pace with which France play? You have so little thinking time.
Oh no, and France, in fairness, you look at the athletes they have right across the board, 1 to 23. If you kick a little bit too far, or there's an offload, or there's a knock on or something, they come alive. Some of their offloading was incredible. Some of the back three. So you've got to tip your hat to France and around where they're at as a team in the minute. And yeah, for us, it's transitioning. Like everything across where we want to be. It's not where we want to be, in particular the scoreline, and it's not where we want to be as a team. But ultimately, we are at this point of our journey. But it's looking at where we have improved from last week and keep building, because it isn't a quick fix. This is something of how we need to layer and build towards the future.
Look, it's 42 tries conceded in 6 games. Do you, as somebody who's come into the head coach's job for the first time, you're still doing the defensive duties as well. Did you perhaps need help in that area?
Yeah, look, we've been looking at that. So just when I came in, it was in September, so we wanted to get a couple of senior coaches, went through a process to get that where we felt right, which was really important. And again, mid-season, it's always hard to transition to get things in, and for me I wanted to see everything around us, so it's something we are working hard to have a look at, and probably by the time the summer comes we'll have an option there.
Okay, what do you say to the Welsh fans if you were given that opportunity, because this was the lowest crowd in Cardiff for a Six Nations match?
Look, it's our job as a team to get the support here. The support are amazing. The general public have been amazingly supportive. I think they do understand what part of the journey we're on. But the only thing I can say is, like, we are, like, the boys, you see the effort out there today. I know the scoreboard doesn't reflect that, but the effort the boys put in, there's a young group there that actually, like, they love the support, they love the connection to our community and our nation. And ultimately, the more we get people in the stadium, the better. It does make a massive help for us.
Really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Sean, this French team, they're a bit good, aren't they?
Well, they're very good to watch, I know that, and certainly I think it's, you know, if you pay to watch the team, you'll get your money's worth, I think.
Yeah, give us an appreciation of the player of the match in Matthieu Jalibert, because it wasn't long ago that, you know, you couldn't get Roman Entomac out of that number 10 jersey. Well,
Roman's had an injury recently, and we wish him well in his recovery. And Matthieu is come in and been absolutely outstanding, both in attack and defence. And yeah, hopefully, you know, we'll keep that competition going, because you always want competition for places.
What on earth is it like to coach these players? You have an extraordinary pool of talent. I could rattle off a whole list of names in Theo Atasogbe, Louis Bielle-Biarrey, Antoine Dupont, we know about his gifts. What's it like to coach them?
Well, I'm the defence coach, so they're probably a little bit like me. When I was a player, I preferred to attack, but everyone knows that in the big games you have to defend really well, and that's my job, to keep reminding them that on those vital moments, which I thought we did pretty well today. You know, to only concede, I think it was 12 points today, so I was very pleased with that.
You've virtually got, I think, you know, a plethora of back row forwards from in your back five. You know, what with Charles Olivon now has gone into the second row. What was the thinking behind that? Was there something specific that triggered it? I
think mobility. You know, mobility. Charles playing the second row, and obviously Miguel Guyard, he's played number 8. He can play 6 and 7. So it's having that mobility as well as having the power. We know we need power in the scrum and etc. So sometimes there's a little bit of a give in one way and one to the other. But yeah, certainly the selection recently has been very, very good for mobility.
And you are overwhelming favourites to win this title and potentially land a Grand Slam, which you've not done since 2022. How are you managing the level of expectation around this team?
Well, we know we've got a huge game coming up against Italy, and you know, they were magnificent against Ireland at the weekend, and obviously beat Scotland the week before. So, you know, the next job is Italy, and you know, we'll be preparing for that over the next 2 or 3 days. The coach is preparing the game plan, and the players will be recovering for a couple of days, and then we'll be bang at it.
Appreciate your time, Sean. Thank you.
Cheers.